We absolutely need to protect ourselves from the sun's harmful rays, but not all sunscreens are created equal. In fact, some sunscreens may be downright harmful. Learn the facts today here at The Healthy View. How often have you heard from just about everyone you know, don't forget your sunscreen? But have you really ever looked at the ingredients in most sunscreens? Can you even pronounce those ingredients?
Hell no.
No. And my last question is, would you eat those ingredients? I'm guessing your answer is probably not. So why then, I ask, would you put them all over your body knowing they would be absorbed into your body? Not all sunscreens are created equal, and sunscreen alone is not enough to keep your skin healthy. There's great clothing out there now to help protect you, and there's also this amazing thing out there called shade. You
No
know
way.
that, yeah, that thing that appears when you sit under the umbrella at a pool? Shade is your friend, especially during prime time sun, otherwise known as the middle of the day. Yes, we're talking about sunscreen today. I'm Lisa Lutan. I'm here with my beautiful and brilliant co-hosts, Andrew Beeman and Michelle Fenninghaus. We are all expert health coaches who've collectively helped thousands of people around the world get happier and healthier while staying sane and having fun. Michelle, what are your sun protection thoughts?
Well, when we think about taking care of our skin, everybody thinks about like the creams and the lotions and the sunblock and everything that we're kind of slathering on top of our skin. So is sunscreen bad for us? I mean, I'm just going to say, yeah, it's not great for us, just like any of the other creams or lotions or makeup or anything that we put on our skin. In most cases, it's full of harmful chemicals that, like you said, Lisa, are getting absorbed into your skin. Now, we know there are better brands out there. And I'm going to tell you, even if it's better, it doesn't mean it's great. So I'm not a huge sunscreen user, but I know everybody wants to know, what brand should I buy? So I'll just be transparent. When we do spend a rare day in the sun, getting a lot of midday sun, I get California Baby for my kids, and Badger is a brand that I'll buy for my husband. I myself rarely use anything, although when I was on the beach in Thailand in March, I used whatever the heck I could get my hands on because that sun was really strong and it was definitely going to burn. However, on a normal day in the sun around here in the Northeast United States, I don't use sunscreen. Healthy skin is an inside job, okay? So it's not about like all this stuff you're putting on top. This is even true when we're talking about skin cancer, which I know is a touchy subject. Now, I'm not saying that anybody should go walking around at noon by the equator, naked for hours at a time with no sun protection. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think we need to spend more time keeping inflammation down in the body so that the immune system can regulate cell growth properly, because a healthy body needs sunlight. And I'm pretty sure Andrea is going to talk more about that, so I won't. But a healthy body also needs nutrients from real food. It needs movement. It needs rest and relaxation. So people who eat really well and take care of their bodies, it shows right on their face. They have amazing skin. So that's why I rarely wear sunblock, because I'm thinking about it more like from the inside out. How can I take care of my body so that all of my organs, not just my skin, are healthy and functioning properly? But I'm going to tell you a story. When I was in college and I was taking the birth control pill at the time, we went down to South Beach. That was like our favorite spring break spot. And the first time we went down, I got so burnt because, we'd be out drinking the night before real late. Then we'd go out to the beach once we woke up in the morning, and then we'd just sleep some more in the sun. And I got burnt to a crisp. Never happened to me before. And it's actually never happened since. Now, I know the sun is stronger in Miami. It's not quite the equator, but we're getting there. So yeah, we weren't used to it. We were college girls from Boston. Maybe I should have had something on, not just lying there, trying to sleep off my hangover in a bikini. But I was taking the birth control pill, and I'm not sure people know this, but the pill actually increases your sensitivity to the sun.
Wow.
Like I said, healthy skin is an inside job. What's going on inside your body, what you're eating, medications you're taking, what's going on in here is reflected in what's going on in your skin. So be careful.
You know, I love that you got drunk and slept in the sun because
That's what you do, right?
that's what you do. We've all had that experience. You know, it's I've also had my fair share of sunburns, and I believe that some of my fair share of sunburns were actually on purpose. Like back in the 80s when it was popular to sit in the sun while slathered in baby oil and letting yourself literally fry for hours. Now, I don't know if Michelle remembers that, but Lisa, do you?
Oh gosh, yeah, totally.
Do they still do that nowadays? Or did
Yeah, I think the teenage girls are still doing it.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. Those are some of the worst burns ever.
I mean, then nobody's using those screens anymore, but definitely
tinfoil.
they're like, no, I don't think they're using that, but they're still, like bring it on, like, with what did we used to use? Bain de Soleil for the Saint-Tropez tan.
Well, we never even used the suntan lotion. It was straight to baby
oil.
Literally on your skin. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine. It's so stupid.
I know.
Right? It was so stupid. I would never, ever, ever do that again. But with that being said, even after frying my skin for many years when I was younger, I do not wear sunscreen. At least not on a regular basis. And I know that my body needs the sun to thrive. We get vitamin D from the sun. It helps lift depression. It lowers our risk of cancer, including skin cancer.
What?
Believe it or not.
What now?
Yeah, look up the studies, including skin cancer. So there are many, many benefits from getting sunlight on your body. I've even read, I just talked about that. I read the studies about skin cancer. But if you look at the entire population of the United States, we notoriously have low vitamin D levels. So what do you think that that's from? Like, we've been slathering on the sunscreen for how long now? Decades. They've been telling us that the sun is bad for us. As well, you combine that with a low fat or a low cholesterol diet and we're doomed. Right? So we need to get our vitamin D from the sun. So many people, I mean, you know what happens when the vitamin D goes down. All incidence of disease comes up, as well as depression and a lot of other stuff. So with that being said, if I go to a foreign country that is closer to the equator than where I live, like what Michelle just did, I do wear sunscreen because my skin and my body is not accustomed to that climate and that amount of sun exposure. So I have a fun story for you. About 5 years ago, Pablo and I were in Costa Rica, right? Closer to the equator. It's a much different climate than New York City. And we took an early morning surf lesson. It was from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I thought, well, it's early in the morning, 8 a.m. Well, I'm not going to need any sunscreen. Holy crap, was I wrong. I got completely fried, and it reminded me of my stupidity back in the 80s. My face was swollen. I had blisters on my forehead. I had blisters on my nose. I had blisters on my chin. I had blisters on my shoulders, right? It was just sheer stupidity. It hurt like hell. But even with that burn, and my other burns from my youth, I have no fear of skin cancer. And it's what Michelle was talking about before, that the inside job, my body's going to slough off what it doesn't need externally, and it's going to rebuild new cells. And this process is going to happen with every cell in my body. Now, when there's apoptosis, right, the death of the cancer cell, that's what you want. You don't want those to grow out of control, like proliferate. So when you give your body what it needs, that apoptosis naturally happens to the cells, whether they're inside or outside or whatever's going on. So I don't have a fear of skin cancer, even with those crazy burns. But I do have a fear of stupidity. So I always must remember to wear my sunscreen in any other climate. And if I'm going to be out in the middle of the day, at the beach or something like that.
And in the middle of the water.
In the water, surf lesson. I was like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. What could possibly happen? Big mistake.
No.
So it's funny. When I was growing up, I was so dark, like so dark all the time, which is funny to believe. And then in like my 20s, I stopped going in the sun for like 20 years because I was like, I'm going to protect my skin. And I did protect my skin in a great way. But then I got to a point where I was like, it's okay. It's okay to have some sun. I like getting some sun now because I do feel healthier. I am getting that vitamin D. And I was really shocked. We did a show on sunscreen about a year ago, and all three of us were saying we don't wear sunscreen. And I was like, whoa, this is so interesting. So I don't on a daily basis either. I will in those circumstances when I'm on the beach like all day and I don't have shade. But normally you will find me with an umbrella or covered, just enjoying being outside, but being sensible about it. When I do use sunscreen, I remember this also. We had Kira Barr on the show. She was a holistic skincare expert. And she said that most people aren't even applying enough sunscreen when they do, that you're supposed to use a shot glass worth on your body and a teaspoon worth on your face. So basically you're going through an entire bottle, that day
Wow.
of the beach. Yeah, and most people put a little on and that's it the whole day. So they're really not getting the protection that they want.
Well,
And that,
don't you also have to reapply? Like once you go in the water and you come out of the water, you got to reapply.
yes, you have to reapply. And also, with sprays, people are really into those sprays, but those aerosols can be very irritating for people. And also, if you don't rub it in, you're not getting the coverage that you need. So it can be a waste as well. So I would say, personally, my go-to is stay in the shade, get the vitamin D, and, if I have to, I'll use it, but it's not my favorite go-to.
Well, before we go, I want to thank Gretty10 for writing this review on iTunes. She said, "These ladies have my vote of listening. Interesting, beneficial content you don't hear everywhere, delivered in a relatable, fun, and sometimes vulnerable approach. Put it on your list of podcasts. You'll be happy you did." Gretty10, thank you so much. Please email info@healthyviewshow.com and just reference the sunblock episode. We'd love to send you a gift for writing that review. And for everybody listening, if you write us a little love note on iTunes, maybe we'll read yours in an upcoming episode. Remember to sign up to get a brief email each time we release a new episode at healthyviewshow.com. That's it for now. See you next time.
Bye-bye.